Hello, my name is Jerry and welcome to Limitless Gen All Access. Today I am very excited because we are talking to a woman who's not one to watch, but she's already been seen. Ladies and gents, this is Cindy Ngamba, our amateur boxer.
Yes, that's me. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you for giving us your time. We're very grateful to be speaking to you. So it's awesome. It's really awesome to speak to you. You know, one thing that's always really interesting, Cindy, is there's a lot of, I guess, with training, a lot of time commitments that come into be able to do this. And it could be like a reason why people may err about starting. So personally for yourself, for doing it this long, you know, how do you handle those personal commitments along with your training, that balance?
So I just look at what I've set goals that I set to myself, you know, each time throughout the year or for a good amount of months. And also, you know, because I've been doing it for so many years in boxing, I have a bit of experience, and I've been around people that have been in boxing for so many years. So like I've sparred with some of the greatest female all around the world. You know, you have Lauren Price. She went to the previous Olympic in 2020, and she won a gold medal for Great Britain. I sparred with Savannah Marshall. She's gone to the previous 2018 Olympic, and I sparred with Natasha Jonas, Miss GB. She was the very first female in the UK to have represented GB boxing in the 2012 Olympic in the UK. So, you know, having that much round and time with them kind of like, you know, gives you that motivation and believe in yourself. And to that moment when I go to each fight, that's kind of like deeply like I've been in the ring with the best of the best, you know.
Exactly.
So if I get in the ring with that opponent, there ain't no way they're gonna beat me because I've been in the ring with the best of the best. And let's forget about me being in the ring with the best of the best. I believe myself too. I put the work in. You know, I grafted. I've dedicated myself to each day of training. You know, there's things that I couldn't attend. You know, I had to give things up, or I didn't spend time with my family. I didn't spend time with my loved ones or my friends. You know, sacrifice was made. So if I think about I made sacrifice, and during that day when I'm about to fight, you're going to tell me I'm going to feel nervous. No, I'm not saying it's nervous to feel. It's normal to be nervous, to be anxious, or to deep think about to certain event, to certain extent. But there's a line that you have to deep think on or be anxious. You know, you can't overdo it, because if you overdo it, that's when you're draining yourself, you're wasting your energy. So, you know, it's a whole lot of emotion, I say. So I always just keep it simple. I've been in the ring with the best of the best. I have loads of experience in boxing, and there's many more to come. And that person is just a human, just like me. And we just get it rolling.
No, I love what you said about rubbing shoulders with the best of the best. I mean, from all the amazing women you've named that you've got a chance to meet and spar with, what would you say is kind of one of the best lessons that you've taken from them? Like, what is something that really sticks with you?
Something that really sticks with me that all of them always say is always enjoy. Always enjoy. I mean, from the very beginning when I first came into boxing, and they used to tell me always enjoy, and I'd be like, what do you mean?
I'm getting boxed in the face.
I'm getting punched in the face. My lips, you know, my face is, and I'm videoing my mom on the phone. She's telling me, why would you want to ruin your beautiful face and get birth to, you know? And I was like, and I go to the next one. She's always like, always enjoying. I always have this big smile on her face, you know, and always be in the moment. And you know, it took me a couple of years till now, and I'm like, right, it actually does make sense, because we as human, or me as a boxer, and any other female out there, male boxers out there, we get so wobbled up. It's not the word, but we get so overwhelmed. You know, within boxing, on thinking, oh, this is just too much. I have to make weight training, and have to attend training. My body's aching. I've twisted my ankle, too many injury. I'm tired, etc. But if you actually take a moment to step back and be like, right, okay, I've decided to do this from the very first day. I signed the contract. You know, even though each session from the beginning was hard, I decided to come over and over again. How am I going to say after a couple of years that I can't do this no more? This is too hard. You know, it has given you so many benefit things. You have achieved so many things in boxing, and you're going to automatically decide to keep up. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're keeping in perspective on how far you've gone back and how much you've done. And I think as just, you know, while we're on the topic of that as well, you know, with doing the sport, I can imagine there's a lot of emotively as well. There's quite a lot of things to have to deal with, not just physically.
Yeah.
But in terms of your mental, because I know you mentioned how important it is to be mentally strong. Like, how do you feel boxing's impacted your mental health personally, from when you started up until where you are now?
So when I first came in the UK, English is not my first language. French is my first language. I speak French fluently. When I came to the UK, I had to learn English. I went to school. And I got bullied in school, so that itself brought my confidence very, very down. Even though I had my sibling, you know, the Ngambas, they were trying to protect me, because your sibling, you can't always protect you. You have to be able to protect your own self.
Yeah.
So after leaving school, and still I couldn't fully speak English properly. So, you know, being in a new country, in a new environment, with new people, you know, and people that speak different language, you feel kind of alone, you know what I mean? And I never knew about boxing until I turned about 14 years old.
Right.
Back in my country, back in Cameroon, I never knew about boxing. Even in the UK, in 3 years in the UK, I never knew about boxing. It's until I started going to Boxing and Girls Club that I heard about boxing. And my first ever boxing YouTube video was Mike Tyson that I watched.
Yeah.
You know, I watched this guy and I'm like, and this guy knocking out people now in left, right, center. But anyway, basically what I'm trying to say is, you know, boxing gave me confidence. You know, I changed as a person, physically and mentally. You know, I got stronger, and I could see changing in myself throughout the year. Physically, I get stronger, I get fitter. I could socialize more with people. That itself helped me, because I was able to, it's like a shoulder, it's like a lot of weight taken off my shoulder, and I can kind of like relax and feel like these are just human, they're just human, and I can kind of like feel like family, I can take them as family.
Yeah,
you know,
for real.
Also being in a sport where there's only men, it's common sense. Boxing is loads of men in the sport compared to more women. I mean, it has changed throughout the year. There's a lot of more women now, but in my time, when I started boxing in 2015, there was just mainly men, and I was the only female in my boxing club.
Wow,
that was doing boxing. Yeah. So I would spar with the men, I would train with the men, so I felt kind of isolated, but they kind of welcomed me and made me feel kind of, you know,
included you like this part.
Yeah, so that itself gave me kind of like confidence in myself too. So it helped me a lot with my mental health. Like I said, when I first came in the UK, in school and college, my mental health was very low, shy, just negative about life, the way I saw life in perspective. So it helped me a lot. And from the Cindy in 2015 to the Cindy 2024, I can say I progressed and become a better person as an adult, because I've grew from a little girl to a teenage girl to an adult now. So yeah.
No, I'm sorry you had that experience, but like, thank you for sharing as well, because I think a lot of people are going to resonate with that experience, and I'm just happy to see, like, you know, you're in the best place now, and it's just getting better and better. But this kind of follows on to what I wanted to ask you next. But like you said, when you first started sparring, you were the only girl in your boxing club. How are you viewing things now with, you know, the growth of women's boxing and amateur boxing and pro boxing? Like, the scope of women's boxing seems to just be rising and rising. So, like, you know, how do you feel about that? It must be exciting to be a part of that too.
I mean, man, listen, in the amateurs and the pros, it's going crazy, man. It's going crazy, left, right, center, on social media. All I see is like, I see a little girl boxing and punching, and I'm better than me, and I'm thinking, damn,
like, she started to step up.
I need to step up my game, because what's happening here? Little girls, they're hating, they're punching hard, and I'm thinking, when I first started boxing, I was all shy, and these girls are so confident in themselves, and I'm like, I'm cheering for them in the amateur and the pros. Everything is uprising, you know, the female are taking over, and I believe that throughout the year that had to come, we're gonna take over even the men and kick them off, the men out of the pro lifestyle. Female are getting more confident. They're seeing lots of role models on social media, you know, or in the gym, or in the club, or on TV, and they're seeing it. They think, if they can do that, I can do that. Yeah. And it's a great thing to see. It's a great thing to see, and I'm loving it. I'm cheering them on, and I hope that hopefully one day, you know, even I watch them and they motivate me, you know, so that, you know, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm just grateful. And there's a lot of role model female out there. I've just named some, Lauren Price and Natasha Jonan, Chantal Cameron and Savannah Marshall, and many more that are there, that are motivating these female in the UK and all around the world. So it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, I think you're kind of the part that's a generational change, isn't it? Younger people are getting more and more involved in this.
Definitely.
It's awesome to see, but then, you know, like you said, at the moment, there's no glass ceiling for women's boxing. So, you know, on a personal note for you, what do you think your ambitions are just this coming year? Like, what do you thinking your goals are going to be? Because at the moment, like, you're climbing up. It's meteoric, like, nothing's stopping you. So, what are your ambitions going to be this year?
We just get the game rolling. Man. When I first started boxing, I was a big girl. I was very, very big girl, 110 kg. My goal was just to, when I finished school, was to lose weight and then get in the police. I wanted to join the police. Oh, wow. And then, because I started boxing and I started seeing like my potential, and my coaches started seeing my potential, and I started having amateur bowling, etc. And through that, and then I went into championship in the ABAs, and I won my first ABAs. It's the England boxing. They have like ABAs each year for like the North and the West for people, for boxers all around the country to join. I had my first ABAs won in 2019. I had my second ABAs in 2021. And my third ABAs in 2022. And then I got invited by GB Boxing to assessment. I got assessed with them, and I was able to join the program that they had put on. And now I'm in part of the Refugee Olympic team, trying to qualify for the Olympic in 2024, which is this year in awesome. October. So the goal at the moment is to go to the next qualifier in March in Italy. There's going to be loads of countries in the international qualification. Qualify for it in October, go to the Olympic in Paris. Actually, I have loads of family down there. My mom mainly lives there. My sibling lives in Paris.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be great, amazing thing, you know, being in the ring with my mom and my sibling and my auntie and uncle watching me and cheering.
So you know, also on the plane trip to Paris spending. Okay.
Yeah, people, you know, my family here in the UK too, watching me and cheering me on. So that's the goal. The Paris, the gold medal, the gold Olympic medal. No,
that sounds amazing, and honestly, I'm sure you have so many people already rooting for you, and you know, and I'm sure what you set your mind to, you've achieved at the moment. So that is it's the next step coming up.
Thank you.
But while we're here, Cindy, is there anything else you want to shout out? Anything that you're doing? Where can people find you? Where can people see you? Or just any advice you wanna give out?
Well, I just want to shout out my gym, Elite Boxing, Thai Boxing. Halliwell, the amateur boxing gym, you know, they're being close to my heart. They're my boxing family, always my boxing family. My coach Dave Langone and Nick Raymond. People who want to find me on social media, Cindy Ngamba, CINDY, NG for golf, AMBA.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, Cindy, I'm so grateful to have the time to speak to you, and honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Amazing.